What's good, YouTube? Coach Guns bringing you NCAA 14 College Football Revamped. So after two great, wonderful seasons in Albuquerque, New Mexico, as the defensive coordinator, we were finally hired as the new defensive coordinator for Georgia Tech. So Manny Diaz was just hired as the head coach here at Georgia Tech, and we were hired to DC his defense. So, we all know I come from a traditional 3-4 kind of hybrid defense. He said no. He says, if you're going to come be my DC, you're going to run my shit. You're going to run a 4-3, my kind of thing. You call the defense, but it's going to be my 4-3 that I like. And I said, cool. Because, you know, Atlanta's a really nice place. The wife likes Atlanta. It's in the south. It's beautiful. It's out of the desert. And, you know, we're making a lot better money than in Albuquerque. So, you know, we're happy to be here. And we're ready to work. So let's go take a look at our roster. Really, really weird roster. We brought in 2 quarterbacks that last recruiting cycle. T.Y. Hayes and Gabe Finley. They were the guys we brought in. Or obviously short on quarterbacks, so we needed 2. And then Zach Pyron, he's our incumbent starter. Maybe, depending on how the season goes, maybe T.Y. Hayes will be able to get a shot at the starter position. But we'll see. Definitely Finley's not ready. At the running back position, you know, pretty standard. DJ was a former commit from the last staff that stuck. And then Shelton was a wide receiver last season that we moved over to the running back position. Because, you know, he was buried down in the depth chart at the wide receiver position. We wanted to get him some reps, get him some run. And, you know, maybe he could have a successful career at the running back position. As you can see, our wide receiver room is, it's kind of, we have an older wide receiver room. We only have 1 true freshman, which is struggling, to say the least. And then we have, so yeah, a sophomore, 1 true sophomore, a couple redshirt freshmen. But this room is older. It's not terrible. It's talented, but it's older and doesn't have a lot behind it, if that makes sense. So we're gonna have to recruit some talent at the wide receiver position. Tight end, we brought some talented guys. Parker Beckett, he's more of an H-back, but you know, you take what you could get. And at the offensive line position is another position where we weren't able to bring in a lot of young talent last cycle. And that's something that we're going to have to do soon, because once all these juniors and seniors work their way out of the program, we're going to have a major issue depth-wise, and we got to get ahead of it. Ben, he was one of those guys we brought in, but he ain't ready to play, and I don't know if he'll ever be ready to play. Shoemaker, he was part of the last staff. We're redshirting him. He'll probably be a starter on next year's team with the red shirt, with a couple more years of eligibility. Probably going to get moved to a guard position, but we'll see. And defensive line is another position. So the last staff, before Coach Diaz and I, they ran a 4-2-5. So they were pretty solid in the secondary, but their front 7 leaves a lot to be desired. So as you could see, next year, just on our end positions, we're going to be struggling. We're losing both of our top right ends. Borden, he ain't it. And so we're gonna have to recruit on that defensive line. Defensive tackle's another spot. Very old. They're talented, but once this group leaves, we're not gonna have anything behind it. So we're gonna need to get in some guys. And then linebacker, another spot. We don't got a lot behind these guys. Middle linebacker, we're probably okay. But at the outside linebacker positions, we're not doing too good. So at the cornerback position, I'm most likely going to start Watson and Strowman. And I just know that if I keep Strowman on the bench, he's going to end up leaving. And his talent is so good. Like, he's, based on where he is, he's almost just as good. He's essentially our third best corner. But based on how young he is, with how high his ceiling is and low floor, he's probably our second best corner based on all those factors. Which is why I'm going to start him, get him some experience, get him some reps, some playing time. And, you know, because I know if I sit his ass on the bench, redshirt him, he's going to end up just going into the transfer portal. And I'm going to be in this vicious cycle of just recruiting top-tier talent guys and then going into the transfer portal. So I'm going to probably have Strowman be our number 2, assuming he keeps working, he produces on the field. And Lamp, I might have him at the nickelback position. We'll see. Eric Reed, guy with a lot of upside. He's very athletic. He doesn't have necessarily the straight line speed, but he's very quick in small bursts, if that makes sense. So he might be a guy that I have at the nickel position. So, you know, we'll see. I think ultimately what will probably end up happening is I'll probably have Reed at the nickel and Strowman be number 2 to Watson. It's probably most likely what's going to end up happening. And then at the safety position, we do have a lot of young talent at the safety position. So we're going to be good here. We just need to get rid of these walk-ons I have all over the team. And so that's basically our roster. Probably going to need to recruit a running back, another running back. Definitely going to need some young wide receivers, some offensive linemen. We're going to need everything, you know. Taking a look at team needs, allegedly what, you know, numbers-wise, we don't need technically anything on offense outside of a kicker. But we're going to need to still bring in some guys. Defensively, like I said, obviously it's the front 7 positions because, you know, a lot of those numbers are construed on defense, especially in that front 7 because of all those walk-ons. And all those guys that, you know, the last staff just gave offers to. I don't know why they did that. And, you know, I'll honor their 1 year. Their 1 year. Just like, you know. But it's not going to get renewed. So, that's that. And let's go look at our pipeline states. We got Georgia, Florida, and Bama. That is prime talent states right there. We should be really good. Let's go look at our school prestige. Coach prestige, Manny Diaz. Got really good coach prestige. Program tradition is really high. Let's get. It should be a lot easier to recruit. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be so really easy to recruit, but it should be a little bit easier than before to recruit. So let's go see what kind of prospects we could grab. Let's go start in the state of Georgia. That's where we are. And we have a linebacker that's extremely interested in us. Let's bring him on board. Definitely need some linebackers. What's up with this guy, this 5-star? You know, Georgia and Alabama and all those fools are going to be hard on this guy. I don't know why a guy like him would be so interested in going to such middle tier schools. Bring him on board, homie. Hell yeah. Mm. A lot of these guys are just already getting recruited so heavily. Guess I'm not that far Obviously, we just got hired, so that's good. We just fixed our corner position. Everything looks good. Alright, I'll see you guys next week for our first game of the season. Coach Guns, out.